Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the serene mountains of Tibet, there lived a wise old monk named Lao Chen. He was renowned throughout the land for his wisdom, compassion, and his remarkable ability to help people find inner peace. One day, a young man named Tenzin arrived at the monastery, seeking guidance on how to control his anger. Tenzin had always struggled with his temper. His anger had caused him countless problems in his life, strained his relationships, and left him feeling isolated and unhappy. He had heard of Lao Chen's reputation and hoped that the wise monk could help him find a way to overcome his anger once and for all. Lao Chen welcomed Tenzin into his humble abode, where they sat down to discuss the young man's problem. Tenzin explained the overwhelming rage he felt at even the slightest provocation and the pain it had brought into his life. Lao Chen listened patiently and nodded knowingly. "I understand your struggle, young Tenzin. Anger is a fire that can consume us if left unchecked. However, there are 3 gates through which anger must pass before it takes hold of your heart and mind. Let me share with you the wisdom of these gates, and you may find the path to control your anger." The first gate. Lao Chen began. The first gate is the gate of words. When anger begins to rise within you, it often starts with the words you choose to speak. Harsh words spoken in anger can hurt not only others, but also yourself. They can create wounds that may never heal. Tenzin nodded, recognizing the truth in Lao Chen's words. He had often said things in the heat of the moment that he later regretted. Before you speak, Lao Chen continued, pause and take a deep breath. Ask yourself if what you are about to say is true, kind, and necessary. If your words do not meet these 3 criteria, then it is better to remain silent. Tenzin nodded in understanding, determined to practice this first gate of anger control. The second gate. Lao Chen smiled and said, "The second gate is the gate of actions. When anger takes hold of you, it often compels you to act impulsively, to lash out physically or verbally. It can lead to regrettable actions that only perpetuate the cycle of anger and suffering." Tenzin thought about the times he had acted out in anger, causing harm to others and himself. He felt a deep sense of remorse. To pass through the gate of actions, Lao Chen advised, take a moment to pause and reflect. Consider the consequences of your actions, not just in the immediate moment, but in the long term. Will your actions bring about a resolution, or will they only fuel the flames of anger? Tenzin nodded, feeling a sense of clarity and purpose. He was determined to practice the second gate. The third gate. Lao Chen's eyes twinkled as he said, "Now, the third and final gate is the gate of thoughts." Anger often begins as a thought, a spark in the mind that ignites the flames of fury. To control your anger, you must learn to recognize and redirect these thoughts. Tenzin knew that his thoughts had often spiraled out of control, leading him into a state of rage. He was eager to learn how to manage his thoughts better. Lao Chen continued, "When you feel anger rising within you, observe your thoughts without judgment. Do not try to suppress them, but do not let them control you either. Imagine your thoughts as clouds passing through the vast sky of your mind. They come and go, and you have the power to choose which ones you allow to linger." Tenzin closed his eyes for a moment, trying to envision his thoughts as passing clouds. he felt a sense of calm wash over him. The young man spent several weeks at the monastery, diligently practicing the 3 gates of anger control under Lao Chen's guidance. He learned to choose his words more carefully, to pause before reacting impulsively, and to observe and redirect his angry thoughts. One day, as Tenzin sat meditating in the monastery garden, a fellow monk approached him with a vexing question. The monk had accidentally knocked over a cherished vase, shattering it into pieces. His face turned red with anger, and he was about to scold the clumsy monk when he remembered the wisdom of the 3 gates. Tenzin took a deep breath and chose his words carefully. Instead of scolding, he said, "Accidents happen, my friend. Let us clean up the mess together, and perhaps we can find a way to repair the vase." The other monk was taken aback by Tenzin's response. He had expected anger and harsh words, but he received understanding and compassion instead. Together, they cleaned up the broken pieces and, with some effort, managed to repair the vase. Word of Tenzin's transformation spread throughout the monastery, and he became known as the monk who had conquered his anger. Others came to him seeking guidance, just as he had sought Lao Chen's wisdom. Tenzin's journey was not without its challenges, but with practice and perseverance, he learned to master the 3 gates of anger control. He discovered that by choosing his words wisely, pausing before reacting, and observing and redirecting his thoughts, he could keep the flames of anger at bay. As Tenzin continued to help others on their own paths to anger control, he realized that the true gift of this wisdom was not just in controlling anger, but in finding inner peace and harmony. He had not only transformed his own life, but also the lives of those around him. And so, the tale of Tenzin and the 3 gates of anger control became a timeless story of hope and transformation, reminding us all that with patience, practice, and a commitment to inner peace, we can overcome the fieriest of storms that rage within us and find serenity in their wake. Moral of the story: the 3 gates of anger, words, actions, and thoughts, serve as profound guides to mastering the powerful emotion of anger. This Buddhist tale teaches us that words. Before we speak in anger, we should pause and ask ourselves if what we are about to say is true, kind, and necessary. By choosing our words wisely, we can prevent needless pain and regret. Actions. Impulsive actions driven by anger often led to harm and further suffering. Reflecting on the consequences of our actions and whether they will bring about resolution or escalate the conflict can help us make better choices. Thoughts. Our thoughts are the seeds of our emotions. By observing our thoughts without judgment and consciously redirecting them towards understanding and compassion, we can prevent anger from taking root in our hearts. Ultimately, this story reminds us that the mastery of anger is not just about controlling a destructive emotion, but about nurturing inner peace, fostering understanding, and bringing harmony to our lives and the lives of those around us. By passing through these 3 gates, we can transcend anger and find serenity. We hope you liked the video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support.